How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store has kicked off its games under $20 sale, and it seems like the general consensus over this sale is relatively positive, so yeah, we're going to be looking at deals under the price of $5, so taking it one step up. We'll do under 10, we'll do overall deals at some point, but thought I would start with under 5, so let's just get right into it. We are going to be mentioning games that are available in PlayStation Plus Extra, so bear that in mind, but I'll let you guys know what those are. Okay, starting things off, we got Metro Redux. This is $4.49 if you're a Plus subscriber, $7.49 if you're not. I imagine most of you guys are at least Essential Plus subscribers, so $4.49. Obviously, I've talked incredibly highly about Metro 2033 and Last Light. They are incredibly atmospheric single-player first-person shooters. Like, these games do a really good job of absorbing you into the world, and the setting and the sound direction. I think those elements of this game are just incredibly strong. Obviously, narratively, Metro is an incredibly strong first-person shooter as well, and gameplay-wise, it's fairly decent. Overall, you're getting two quality games for $4.49. I think that's a no-brainer and definitely would give that a shout. You know, Metro's just one of those franchises I think everybody should get around to playing at some point. Exodus just got added to Plus Extra as well, so you can play that way. Alright, moving on from that, .hack.gu last Recode, $4.99 if you're a Plus Essential subscriber, at least a Plus Essential subscriber. Otherwise, 80% off for $9.99. .hack.gu is a franchise that I've raved about, I've talked about quite a bit. It's one of those JRPG series that I grew up playing, so there is a bit of nostalgic attachment to it, but let's be real. Back in the day, back in like 2005, 2006, when .hack.gu came out, paying $40 a pop for each game, or maybe it was $50, was it not the ideal experience to go through? Nowadays, you buy last Recode, you get all 3 games, you get a 4th smaller episode, you get all that for $4.99. That is a ridiculously good deal, and if you're remotely a fan of JRPGs, would give it a strong recommendation. Obviously, an older franchise, so it shows its age, some stiff animation, some wonky voice acting, but overall, I think the game from a narrative standpoint is strong. I think the characters all have a lot of personality and diversity to them, and yeah, just a strong cast of characters. Maybe some of them don't get as much shine as some people would have hoped, but yeah, I like the lead in Haseo as well. $4.99 for it. I think that's a pretty good price. Alright, next up we have Rayman Legends, 75% off for $4.99. Man, I try to talk up Rayman as much as I can. I don't know if Ubisoft is ever gonna give like traditional Rayman titles like a consistent push and do these games consistently, but whatever I can do to get people to play Rayman Legends, I will do it at $4.99. It's just such a fantastic platformer that really anybody can get into. Even if you're not the biggest fan of platformers, give Rayman Legends a shot, especially at this price point. Beautiful art style in the game, a ton of levels, great soundtrack. Just one of those IPs I just feel like is very undervalued by Ubisoft, and I think they could do a lot more with it, but, you know, I've done this song and dance before. Just buy Rayman Legends. It's a great game and would strongly recommend it. Next up, we have Yakuza 0, 75% off for $4.99. This is available through Plus Extra. They're adding all of the Yakuza titles to Plus, so that is something to keep in mind. However, if you're looking to own the game, if you're looking to get into the franchise, Yakuza 0 is a great starting point. Obviously, it's a prequel to Yakuza 1, and it's a great game with a very, very good story, and the story's pacing, I think, is done really well, and Yakuza does a good job of having its serious moments, having its wacky moments, and having a lot of variety in the gameplay as well, but you know, I feel like it does a good job of having variety narratively and gameplay-wise. There's a ton to do in the game, a lot of mini-games and whatnot, and if you're trying to do everything in Yakuza 0, yeah, pack a lunch, brother, because it's going to take you quite a while. But yeah, $5 for Yakuza 0, a no-brainer here. Next up, couple of horror titles, Outlast and Outlast 2. We'll mention both of them because if you buy both of them, you'll get them both for under $5. So, Outlast 1 is $1.99, Outlast 2 is $2.99. I remember when Outlast 1 came out, and it kind of took the gaming world by storm just because of how wild of a horror game it was. I just don't think a lot of people were expecting a game that was this intense, but yeah, Outlast 1 definitely had that surprise factor going on for it. Outlast 2 is very good as well. Obviously, these games are super, super atmospheric as well, and I feel like even more so than a game like Metro, that has a lot of qualities to it. For a engrossing horror game, you really need to nail that element, and Outlast does a really good job with that. So both games for $5, I feel like that's a pretty good price. Next up, we'll mention these two titles together as well because they are Play Dead games. Limbo, 75% off for $249. Inside, 75% off for $4.99. There is a Limbo and Inside bundle for $7. That'll save you, I believe, 50 cents. Yeah, if you want to buy that, you can save 50 cents. I feel like everybody and their mother has played Limbo at this point. Like, Limbo, when that game came out as well, I believe it was 2008 or 2010, something like that. Kind of took the gaming world by storm. It was a very, very unique game, and one of those first downloadable titles that showcased how strong downloadable games and smaller games like this could be, and Play Dead did a terrific job with Limbo, just a dark aesthetic, and kind of leaves you to your own devices on figuring things out, and I thought they did a really good job with it. $249 for that is great. Inside does not get the same amount of love that Limbo gets, but it's just as good. Do not get it twisted. Inside is a fantastic game as well, and it's a little bit unfortunate that it doesn't get the same amount of, I guess, buzz around it. Like, Limbo's an iconic game. I feel like Inside has not become as iconic of a game, but very good in its own right. And again, if you're a fan of the Limbo aesthetic, I feel like Inside's going to be right up your alley. It's going to be interesting to see what Play Dead does next because they are an incredibly talented studio. I believe they're working on something right now. It's just Inside. It's been quite a while. It's been 6 years since Inside dropped, but, you know, Limbo dropped a while back, and then, you know, it took a while to get Inside out, so, you know, hopefully they're making smooth progress with that, but right now, those two deals, I think, are quite good. Next up, we have Mirror's Edge Catalyst, 75% off for $4.99. Man, I remember the E3 conference when Mirror's Edge Catalyst was, I believe it was officially revealed at an E3 conference, but there was a lot of rumors circulating, and it just brought forth so much joy, just because Mirror's Edge came out in 2008. People loved the game. Commercially, it didn't do gangbuster numbers, but then we had Mirror's Edge Catalyst, a prequel to Mirror's Edge, and unfortunately, the game had a lot of shortcomings. I feel like the open level design was more of a hindrance to the game, and I think if they kept it a little bit more like the 08 title, would have done it good. However, we're so many years removed from the game that, yeah, it was a disappointment when it came out, but now for $5, like, it's still a worthwhile game to play. Like, I feel like people forget that Mirror's Edge Catalyst, not a bad game at all, and it's actually a pretty good one, all things considered. So, but nonetheless, gameplay-wise, Mirror's Edge Catalyst still has a lot of strong moments, and visually, I feel like it still holds up pretty well. I'm not saying go out there and spend full price on it, but for $5, or if you want to sign up to EA Play, it's a game that I think is a worthwhile game to check out and play. Lastly, I do want to give a shout to Spelunky. Spelunky is just an iconic game that I feel like a lot of people have played. Don't give it much of a mention on this channel, but it's 80% off for $3, and it's one of those games that's quite a bit challenging, a roguelike platformer with a lot of grinding your gears moments. Like, sometimes this game will get on your nerves, but it's a very addicting game. It's a very replayable game, and I know people that have sunk just obscene amounts of hours into Spelunky as well. So for $3, I thought that was worth a mention as well. Check it out, especially if you've never given the game a shot. And that's gonna do it for me. Again, as far as deals go in this under $20 sale, I think it's quite good. We tried to limit it to under 5, so that was, we had to be a little selective, obviously, because there's not a lot of options there. Under 10 is coming, and I was looking through the under $10 section, and there's a ton of good stuff available under 10. We'll get to that when we get to it, probably sometime this weekend, but that's going to do it for me. Links to all of the deals, as always, in the description box below. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.